Are you tired of logging onto the Dream SMP just to see that your base got raided? I mean, you spent all your time, money, and your soul to build that base just for it to get raided in the first day. That's why in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to actually properly hide your base on the Dream SMP. Also, I speak from experience as I'm someone who currently has a base which has been hidden now for over 5 months without being raided. So anyways, I'm gonna just stop yapping and yeah, let's just get into the video. Alright, so the first thing that you're gonna want to do is you're obviously gonna want to RTP to a region. Now, because if you're gonna build your base, do not build your base in the end of the Nether, as it's way easier for ESPers or like hackers to find your base in the end of the Nether, and it's a bit harder for them to find it in the overworld. So make sure to always, and I mean always, RTP into the overworld. The next thing, guys, that you're going to want to do is make sure to buy a silk touch pickaxe. Now, guys, I know you might be thinking, oh my gosh, bro, like silk touch is so expensive. Well, it's really not. If you were to do /h silk, the cheapest silk touch book is 22k, and you don't even have to buy a silk touch pickaxe. You can just put this on your own pickaxe. But yeah, buy a silk touch pickaxe for this next step. Anyways, guys, the next step is always to build your base into an ocean, as it's way harder for people to find your base out there, since people can't RTP into an ocean. It might take them a bit longer for them to actually find your base, but yeah. Anyways, guys, once you have found an ocean that you want to build your base in, make sure to avoid like ocean caves like this, as there's most definitely a cave under there. And guys, do not, and I mean do not, build your base near a cave. Like, if you see a cave while you're mining down to build your base, RTP, as building your base next to a really big cave can make it way easier for base finders and base hunters and like ESPers to find your base, as it's just in an open area. But anyways, guys, yeah. But once you have just done that, I'm actually kind of greedy. I'm gonna go explore the shipwreck.
Boy, if you don't.
But anyways, guys, once you have actually done that, you're then gonna want to start trying to like mine down to build your base. So guys, once we're in an ocean, make sure to mine down on like dirt instead of something like gravel, as blocks like gravel and sand are able to fall. And blocks, and pretty much every other block in the game except for like concrete powder and stuff doesn't fall. You're gonna want to do that. The next thing you're gonna want to do is always make sure to replace the blocks behind you where you build. This is why you need your silk touch pickaxe, as it would look pretty suspicious if someone just found a whole entire like column of cobblestone instead of just normal stone. Now, guys, once you have found the spot where you want to build your base, make sure to mine down all the way down to bedrock. Now, guys, once you mine down to bedrock, you're then going to want to go up about 5 blocks. You're going to want to go up to about, less than like y-50. But if you want to build a lot of farms, I would suggest going lower than y-40. As you're going to need a lot of space to build your farms. Anyways, guys, once you have found the spot to build your base, then you can just keep mining out to build your base. Another thing I would say, don't build your base next to like old rated bases, as this is an easy way for someone to find your base. But anyways, guys, the next thing that you're gonna want to do once you find your base is make sure to hide all of the bedrock. If you plan on TPing like a streamer to your base, as guys, there's something called block rotating, which is basically where people can find out the coordinates to someone's base by looking at the block rotation patterns of like bedrock. So yeah, just make sure to hide all your bedrock in your base so that people can't find it. The next thing is make sure, if you also TP a streamer to your base, make sure they have an anti-block rotation pack enabled, as if they don't have that enabled, then people can also see like the patterns in the deep slate to find out the chords to your base. But with no block rotations, you see all the block rotations are the same, so people can't find out the, coordinates to your base. So if you ever take your streamer to your base, make sure they're using an anti-block rotation pack. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, I will link an anti-block rotation pack in the description below if you want to download it. The next step is by far the most important step of hiding your base, and it's to not use any block entities in, the pie chart. Because guys, if you press F3 and 1 to go to your pie chart, and you go to like tick level block entities, people can see the block entities in your base. Like, if I place on this E chest, you see it shows up in the pie chart. Now guys, this is just a way on how people can easily find someone's base, and it's basically the main way on how people in Java can find people's bases. Okay, yeah guys, blocks such as shulker boxes, signs, enchanting tables, spawners, chests, and e-chests all show up on the pie chart. So that's why if you ever use spawners in your base, make sure to pick them back up when you leave your base or log off. And also guys, you don't have to use like these blocks because most of the time you do need chests if you want to build like a stash or a farm. So people don't really look for chests though, so you're kind of in the clear, I guess. But the biggest thing is mob spawners. The two main blocks that people look for in bases are shulkers and mob spawners. So make sure whenever you leave your base to mine out any shulkers or spawners, as those are the main things on what people are looking for. Oh yeah, also one more thing. Even if you use blocks like barrels or, bookshelves that don't appear on the pie chart, since many ESPers use like a hack which can basically just like detect these blocks, but you can still kinda use it, I guess, since Dream SMP has recently implemented something called an anti-ESP, but some people are finding a way to get around it. But I don't know, you can use it if you want, although I honestly probably wouldn't really recommend it. Next thing guys is to please never ever build your base under a village. Even if you want to make a village or trading hall, make sure the villagers are far away from the village, since even building bases under villages is one of the main places people will look first before looking in other places. So whatever you do, even if you don't put any blocks up on pie chart, make sure to never ever under any circumstances build your base under a village. The next thing guys is look out for who you trust. Never ever TP randoms to your base who are like, oh, I swear I won't reach your base, bro. Because they most definitely will. Or if they don't, they're probably just going to save the coords and raid it later when you're offline. So make sure to never ever TP randoms to your base. The next thing guys is if you want to AFK spawners, make sure to put the spawners, under the ground or inside of a wall, just to make it a teeny bit harder to find. The next thing guys is to always stay safe online. Never ever click on random suspicious links that you find on Discord or any other thing, because I've seen a lot of the times people who lose their bases to their Minecraft accounts being hacked, and so yeah. Then not only have you lost your base, but you've also lost your Minecraft account, which can be very hard to get back. Well, both of them. So yeah, never ever click on suspicious links, and make sure that if you click on something on a link, that make sure it's a reliable source, and make sure that other Dream SMP players use it and it's very trusted.